Canvas moments. This is an idea, a thought process that kind of organically happened to me one time, and then I captured that concept and have applied it to a lot of things in my life. So, started with my wife's birthday years ago. I wanted to do something special for her birthday. I thought about it several times through the year. Never really did anything. Got her a couple of presents or something. And then it was January 1st, which is her birthday. Oh, and let me state for the record that the year goes clockwise. For Gracie, it goes counterclockwise. I drew, for some reason, years ago, I was on a piece of paper drawing out the year, and she said, "You're drawing it in the wrong direction." I said, "What? What do you mean?" She said, "The year goes counterclockwise." And my brain exploded because the year clearly goes clockwise in my head. When I get myself into thinking about my year, it's definitely going clockwise. So anyway, here I am with the year going clockwise, and it's, March or April. And I was thinking, I want to do something special for Gracie's birthday on January 1st, which is right there. And I thought about it several times through the year and never got her anything. But then the morning of, I knew exactly what I wanted to get her. I knew what I wished was true. I woke up that morning. I was like, man, I wish I had that set of earrings to give her. And then for breakfast, I was like, oh, I wish I'd gotten her that chocolate brioche breakfast roll that she likes so much. And so as I went through that day, it was super obvious what I wish was true. But for the previous, 280 days since I kind of been thinking about planning it, nothing really came to mind. And I, brainstormed and finally came up with a gift to get her. But that next week, as I was thinking back to how that day had gone, it hadn't gone like I wanted it to. I wanted it to be really special. And I ended up just kind of giving her a couple of gifts. And the disparity between the previous year's planning, and it was very hard for me to think about what should I do for her, and very easy for me to know what I wanted to be true on the day of, created the idea of Canvas moments. So that next year, I was here maybe around, part of the way through the year. And instead of thinking about Gracie's birthday like it was something that was 280 days away, and kind of as I'm sitting down, at my computer to brainstorm, I wasn't thinking about this long way off thing that I was planning for. I actually took a few minutes and got into a mental situation where I was pretending, and it was almost as if it was that day. I was thinking, okay, today's the day, not this long way off day. It's actually today. What if today was Gracie's birthday? And I just woke up. What do I want to be true? And then the creative capacity to quickly decide what to do. I just had to type as fast as I can to capture all the thoughts, which was vastly different than me trying to plan for this thing that was off in the distant future, by actually getting myself into the mental position as if it was right, as if today was her birthday. And it was, April 28th, but it was January 1st, and I just woke up. And what do I want to give her right now? It was super easy for me to identify what I wanted the day to look like and kind of plan out the day. So I've taken that idea, and when I have some milestone or objective or whatever, instead of thinking about it as something in the future, I get myself into that future in my mind and kind of look around as if I'm there in that moment and start to capture all the details that I see. And I call it Canvas moments. I kind of get myself into that painting and start to paint the painting and capture all the details. And it looks like just writing down lists of things that are true. So I've done that several times over the years. And so that capacity to move mentally into the future and then sit down and type in that future moment is what I call Canvas moments. So that's another idea of that applies to fractal productivity. So I wanted to build that definition of what I mean by a Canvas moment. It's not something in the future. It's something that's in your imagination, present and true, and then capturing all the details you see. And that's what a canvas moment is. So for example, for me, it's something that I use in my business. So for example, I had one job. I won't give all the details of the job, but it was a big kind of whole house remodel. And I realized the customers are moving out. And there was this one moment in time, because I love to surprise people or startle people. Jim Carwish, my coach, and I've talked a lot about that, like internal desire to surprise people. Not in a scary way, but in a delighted, like to create a kind of startled delight. I love doing that. So I captured this moment in my mind of the customer walking in on a certain day of the job. And it was the day they were going to move out and go to their lake house, and I was going to take over their whole house. And I suddenly pictured this one room that we weren't doing much in. I was like, oh, I guess I'll just set up my office there and kind of duplicate my office at home with my laptop, and I'll get my 5-tiered shelf for all of my paperwork, and I actually got behind me I've got this whiteboard that's a Scrum board. I actually created a Scrum board on the job site just for the job with Post-it notes representing the job phases and everything. And so I suddenly imagined today was that day, and I was standing there and I started cataloging all the things that I wanted to be true. And I knew they were going to leave that night, and I pictured them coming back in with everything gone and the floors all protected with my flooring protection system, my dust extraction system installed, my office set up, and I've just pictured them walking in the door and kind of being startled by their house. And I worked so many hours to make that true. It was very motivating to hit that moment and pass through that canvas moment with all the things that I in my imagination saw to be true, to have actually created that situation. So over the years, I've created a lot of canvas moments in my mind, and then that's very motivating for me when I see that moment. I've actually kind of experienced it almost as if it was true, and kind of imagine the emotional situation and everything. And then it's not so much important to me what actually happens. It's the process of building that canvas moment is where I get my satisfaction. And then if somebody walks in, I knew, like with that homeowner, I wanted them to walk in and be surprised. I knew I was going to be gone for the day. Like I was going to be gone and locked up. I just wanted them to have that experience, even though I wasn't going to be there when they walked in the door. So anyway, the idea of canvas moments, actually projecting your imagination into the future so that future moment is present to you kind of emotionally and mentally, and capturing a situation is something that I do a lot and is very motivating for me. So that's a piece of my thinking about fractal productivity.